Hi, my name's Michael, and this is my road to recovery.
And boy, am I looking forward to this one. Now, first of all, this young lady's in the doghouse because she bolted on us last time. You want to give a little explanation on that while we're here?
I had just got back from vacation, and it was the next day, and I overslept through my alarm.
Sure you did.
Are we buying that, Cat? Are we buying that at all?
She's not.
No, I'm not buying it at all. Lord, I talk to you every morning. I'm definitely not buying it. But thank you so much for coming today, and I know that we're definitely looking forward to hearing some stories, and Kathy has all the scoop on you. I've heard some of it, but I'll let Kat kick this thing off.
Yeah, so I'm going to introduce Michael Bowling. Michael today she's nowhere even close to what she was a couple years ago. She and I become friends in Marysville. We were in a program called Tapestry, and you get to know folks there. It's a rehab program inside the prison, and it was rough, and I mean, it was horrible, but it was worth it, and it really saved my life. We come to know each other through that program, then we come home, and we both live relatively close together. She lived in Portsmouth, I lived in Ironton, and we kept a strong alumni connection with the ladies that went through that program with us. So it was real cool once you get home and you're all here and we can go do some things together, and we did, and we had such a good time. And then one day my phone rang, and it was somebody that was very, very concerned about Miss Bowling here. She had returned to use. Her sister had been very, very scared for her, and then she had some legal issues. So we went round and round a couple times. Treatment once or twice, and then after she completed treatment with us, she's been able to stay sober. She's been able to go back to school, get some certifications, and now she is a peer support specialist that helps with our legal department to take some folks wherever they need to go to make sure they are in tune with their probation. It's amazing if you would just know the girl, she's a small image of who she used to be. I don't even know if that other Michael ever existed anymore.
Well,
it's
yeah,
crazy. You made such a transformation, and the fact that you're doing it I'm in awe of it.
I know I get here early in the morning sometime, and I'll get here at 5:30 or 6, and she's already in the car. I see her going down the side of the road there, and she's gone. Sometimes the tires squeal, but I don't want to tell on you. I don't want to tell.
You don't want to tell me.
But that's awesome to be that productive, coming from a world. It probably wasn't always that way, huh?
No, not even close. I wouldn't even be friends with the girl I used to be now. I have came a really long way doing things that I thought that I would never do, this being one of them.
Oh, I know. You tried to run. You tried to hide. Today, I cornered you. I was like, hey,
nobody knows we pay these people to do this. I mean, it's come to this. I can tell
I'm
you.
going to need my check.
Yeah.
But, I lived a pretty hard life. All of my family were alcoholics. They weren't really drug addicts, but alcoholics is what I have a family full of. I'm the oldest person in my family, blood relative, and I have been since I've been 35. I never thought that I didn't graduate, so I just thought that I was going to live life with, not graduated, and I thought I was going to die out there. I kind of accepted that I was going to die out
I
there.
think that's probably just a true statement if I've ever heard one. I think you'd come to terms with the fact you'd buried almost anybody in your family that you cared about.
Yeah.
And you just thought this is how life was going to be.
Yeah, and I really did accept it too. Like I was like, okay, like I've never been one big on suicide because I was not going to hurt myself, you know what I mean? Not on purpose like that.
Right.
But like I was ready to go at any time, and I would have been fine.
Didn't matter one way or the other at that point, right?
No, it didn't.
So we're in this program in prison, and it's pretty harsh. It's kind of, I always call it like STAR, but on steroids.
Oh, wow.
So we're there for like 18 months, and there's some certain things that we have to do in order to move through the program. And to watch Michael hold people accountable then, it was just great. I knew she would do things. And when we was in prison, I'd always talk about, like, when I get home, I'm going to open one of these places. She used to sit with me. There was a table out back. I get real emotional because several of those girls are dead now.
Yeah,
wow.
They really are.
And then after we come home and we're sober for a little bit and she's doing some of the things that she's supposed to, she wants a job. Well, let me tell you.
That came out of nowhere,
oh, my
didn't
goodness.
it?
I told
Yeah.
her, I was like, listen, I'm not doing this with you. Like, I've seen you go from having everything to nothing, and you do it real quick. And when everybody's watching,
0
you're
to
slick like
60.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, how do I know you're not going to come in here and run me like that? I can't. I can't take that chance. And she said, I promise you, give me the opportunity, Kathy, and I'll do it. And I've given her the opportunity, and she's taken it and run with it. She's got a daughter that's amazingly beautiful. And daughter lives with you full time now, doesn't she?
Yes, she's full.
That has been a
almost-
process.
Yeah, like 2 years. I accepted that she would never live with me again, too. I knew she had a good dad. He makes good money. His wife never did any drugs, so I was never going to fight for custody. But not only did she see a difference in me, because she would never want to move in with me before, but like he trusted me enough with her and let her come to me. And she came to me. I was out of treatment, out of Lawrence County Recovery for about 4 months. I had a 1-bedroom apartment. This kid slept on my couch for 8 months. I didn't want to cry, guys.
It's all right.
It's all right.
It's worth
emotional.
crying over.
It
Trust
is.
me.
I'm telling you, the transformation and the
Don't-
bond you and your daughter have now are immensely different from anything you've ever known.
Yes,
I mean,
definitely.
honestly, like you have really forged and done some things people like me and you don't do, and that's
Yeah.
rebuild bonds that we trashed.
That's your accountability right
Yeah.
there. Imagine the heartache. I've always said it in every episode
Yeah.
we've done. I could never. I don't think I could ever relapse and look at my daughter in the
Oh,
eye.
there's
I
no
mean,
way.
there was my accountability for sure.
I know one of the things that got me sober and kept me sober this time is when my daughter said, "Mom, I smoke weed now. Maybe I'm cool enough to hang out with you." And she said that on Easter 2021. My clean date is 4/26/2021.
That's when you decided it was time.
Yeah, and I had the hardest time in groups because I wanted to be her friend still, because she was telling me things and not telling her dad. Like, she was telling me real life things, and then she had to put up a facade to feel like she fit into that family or whatever. And I never wanted her to not tell me the things because I wanted to know. But then again, the better that I got myself, the less I wanted to know, and the more I wanted to parent. And
I bet that was hard in the beginning, wasn't it?
Oh,
To go from some, because I remember coming home from prison in Austin, he had all the things, electronics,
Right,
anything
right.
that I could give him, because I was trying to make up for time, when in fact it's rough to be the parent, say, okay, listen, you're going to sit your ass down, like this is what we're about to do.
Right.
yeah.
That was hard.
Yes, it's very hard. I cried more times than I didn't, trying to get her to understand that I cannot just be your friend. Like, I have to be your mom. And this is literally why I'm in recovery, to be this little girl's mom and show her how to not die out here.
So what's different? Like, what are you doing different now that you didn't do before? I've seen Michael do a lot of shit, good and bad. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
golly, you just never know what you're going to get
Oh,
either.
I'm
like,
sure.
sometimes you'll answer the phone, I'm like, you're where, with who?
Yeah.
But what's different besides that? What switch flipped? What happened?
I can't pinpoint it, but I really, the consequences outweighed the good feeling of getting high. The not seeing my kid outweighed the feeling of getting high. Letting my friends and family down repeatedly got too much for me.
I just remember I was always waiting for your sister to arrest you. Her sister's a cop.
And she
Oh,
did.
God.
Yeah.
She's arrested me twice.
Has she
Oh,
really?
yeah.
Yes.
She
Oh
has.
my God!
she
How
does not
tough would
care.
that be?
I know, right?
Oh my God! Wow.
One time I was trying to give a fake name.
To your sister?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Oh.
it was the chief of police where she was a cop at. This is horrible. I hate this story, actually.
Oh, go ahead. I
Please
want
tell
to hear
I'm
it now.
listening.
It was the chief of police, and I was giving him one of my childhood friends' name. And I couldn't get the social right. I was one number off. It was crazy. But so they needed a woman to transport me because he was the chief of police. I guess he don't transport people. And she showed up and I was handcuffed, still saying the name that I was trying to give.
Mm-hmm.
She showed up and said, "I knew it was you. She don't get in trouble," and give me a kiss on the cheek. And that cop looked at her and he said, you cannot kiss the prisoners.
She was like, this prisoners.
She said, this is actually my sister. And I was like, here
Exactly.
comes more charges.
Yeah, that's it.
Great.
No,
Oh
it
my
really got me.
God! And she took you
Oh,
away.
yeah, I went straight to
What was
jail.
that conversation like in the cop car?
There was none. I was like,
Oh,
You knew better. You
I
just
can't
sit
imagine.
still.
And she probably cussed you like a dog.
well,
cannot
yeah,
imagine.
she was mad at me. I was mad at her because in my eyes, I left you alone, so you just need to leave me alone, right? But no, she wasn't gonna. My sister's very persistent. She wasn't gonna stop. I'm sure she called you.
Oh, I've
She's
had
called-
several times.
She's called Kylie's dad.
Yeah.
Like, she worries a lot. And, like, me and her's relationship is nothing like it could be. And I think I know that it's all due to the stuff that I did to her, like stealing money, just being strung out. Like, that's hard on your family. Way harder than you think it is. Even if you don't see them but once a month and talk to them but once a month, like, the worry about you is
It's unreal, isn't it? 'Cause
Yeah.
we've all buried a lot of people that we love. I can't even count now the number of folks
Yeah.
that we've had to bury as a result of the disease of addiction, if not from overdose, but then just that chronic disease process. Tell me about how what made you decide, like, okay, now I'm going to do something different. Like, now I'm thinking I'm going to go back to school. Tell us about that, because
Yeah.
I'm really proud. We have about 5 or 6 employees here that are, they're more than that, but they have gone back to school and challenged themselves. It has been unreal to see the personal growth. And they all get together every Sunday and do their homework together and
Oh,
go out
God.
to eat, and it's great. So
That's
tell us
awesome.
how that happened.
Yeah, how did it happen?
So I was thinking, like, I try to be someone that I needed in treatment for people now. And, like, I really like my job right now, and I have no plans to go anywhere for a little while. But I want to be able to have someone sit down with me, like a counselor. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
therapist.
going after. Sit down and tell me their stuff, and then me get a little snippet of my life to let them know I should have not been one to make it out. Like, I know that for facts. I know a way many more people that are better people than me that's made it. Or that hasn't
Hadn't
made
made
it.
it,
And
yeah.
here I am. So I wanted to do something with that.
So where are you in school at?
Huntington Junior College. I'm on my 3rd semester. I get pretty good grades. I've made the president's list every time.
Oh, wow.
I love it
That's
when
crazy.
her daughter's like, listen, Mom, we can't go do that. You got to do your homework.
That's insane.
When her mom's like, listen, like, is that in our budget, Mom? Like, her kid's like amazing.
She's
too.
parroting her.
Oh God, she does, and she'll.
And
Yeah.
I listen.
And if
That's
she
it.
does, she's like, oh no, Kylie said no.
You know
we
what,
better
you're
not.
right. I believe
Yeah.
we'll stay home tonight.
That's it. I mean, it's great. It is. Whatever's working's working.
She tells me, like, I have a couple friends that's still struggling back and forth in and out of rehabs and out in the madness. And she's like, you can't talk to them. And I'm like, I can talk to them. I cannot see them. And she's like, all right, but not too much talking. And I listen.
You got a
know?
house monitor.
She does. She cracks the
Absolutely.
lip on her.
Man,
all
it's
the
good to
time.
have somebody like that, though, that, holds you accountable. It's like for anything. It doesn't matter if it's a diet or whatever it is, to have somebody hold you, especially your child. I mean, that's as...
She's seen me through some of the worst. She's been there when I've been overdosed before. She's had to call 911 herself. So if she's seen all the bad stuff, front row,
seat,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? She's gonna see all the good stuff front row too.
Absolutely.
And
That well
you guys
said
need
there.
to
Yep.
interview her.
Yeah.
She's great. She's a good kid, and I know that she knows that we have a rapport, several of us, and I firmly believe with everything in me that she would call me if she thought her mom was going left to center.
Right.
I think that she knows. She grew up in a lot of our houses, like she grew up with us.
Right,
So I
right.
feel like I've known her since she was a little kid. It's just amazing to me. And then the job that you do now is so important. If you've never had to navigate the legal system, it's hard. What's a judicial release? What's time over your head? What's an OR bond? Some of that stuff's hard to understand, but I mean, you got your bachelor's degree in that. You know
Sounds
all
like
about
she's
it.
all
So,
right.
yeah,
so
so you can
before
take
I
'em.
had this job, I had lived experience with all that stuff, and I know the lingo pretty well, and I know how to navigate most of the judicial systems, but it's good seeing people after you've taken them and went with them for a couple times, to see them feel more confident, like, okay, I'm really not going to jail this time, and I can ask for what I want, instead of just being too nervous because you're just going to go with whatever because you're too nervous to ask for something different. So it's good to see them be like, no, that's not a good deal. I can't mention names, I know that, but I was with a client the other day, and they wanted this client to take a deal that was, they had her in jail, and they were going to keep her in jail. They wanted her to do a TC and then get out and be off paper. And she was like, I want to go back to Lawrence County Recovery. Like, I want to go back. And the judge, of course, he's like, I have seen nothing but good come from Lawrence County Recovery, but we are offering you 3 years paper, done. You can be done in 6 months. Just go to this TC. And she is like, I'm not.
She'd rather have the
I will go
accountability.
to prison first before I get out and be scot-free.
And that's crazy.
And, like, I cried with that lady all the way home.
I guarantee you, because you've seen some things. You've seen some moms get their kids back. You've seen some dads do things that some dads never do.
Yeah.
And you get to witness it every day, and it's amazing. I love watching
Totally.
you. Well, I just love watching you, and a lot of the clients have a lot of respect for the things that you do with them and for them. It's just amazing to think where you were and where you are now. If there was somebody out there struggling, let's talk to like Michael Bowling 5 years ago. What would you tell them that to give them a little hope or something that would kind of maybe ignite their fire to want to get sober?
Don't shut the door on people that love you. That's usually the first thing that I do. I will go and I will make it a point not to be around the people that really, really love you. And if I can do it, I wish you could. I have mug shots. You guys got to show one on here.
You showed me.
Yeah.
If you can show one on here.
I'm
if I
sure
can
we can.
make it out of that, anybody can make it. Because I was the kid that was supposed to die, for sure. And that did die. I've overdosed so many times that I cannot, I don't know the number of times.
Well, I know that there's two people sitting here at this table that love you, for sure, and enjoy seeing you when you come in. And the only thing I feel like, knowing you this long, that we need to work on, I think Kathy will agree with, and I don't want to make you mad, working on that alarm clock.
That's it. We got to do something.
We got to make sure that the clock goes off. You can't leave us hanging. Is that a
And
deal?
that you get up. I mean,
Yeah,
the getting
gotta
up
get
part's
up.
real
Gotta
good.
get up.
Yes.
Well, you will be happy to know I bought a real alarm clock. I quit using my phone, and this thing is loud and annoying and across the room.
All
There
right,
you go.
we'll let you
You're
slide.
winning at life now.
Well, we know it took a lot for you to do this, and we beat you up on it. So thank you so much for doing it. We appreciate it.
you.
Okay. God
Thanks.
bless you. Yep.